Welcome to APush for 5, your daily all-in-one study partner for the AP exam. We'll guide you through real stimulus-based APUS history practice questions. We have a total of over 150 videos that will be uploaded daily. These will go in chronological order, covering every period from pre-Columbus to modern day. We've got this. Here comes a set of questions from Period 3, 1754 to 1800. Question 1. Stimulus. Stamp Act Congress. Declaration of Rights and Grievances. 1765. No taxation without representation. Question. The excerpt best reflects which colonial belief? A. Colonial legislatures were legally subordinate to royal governors. B. Representation in Parliament was unnecessary given salutary neglect. C. Parliament had the right to regulate trade but not to directly tax the colonies. D. Taxation without representation had long been the practice under the Navigation Acts. The correct answer is C. Parliament had the right to regulate trade but not to directly tax the colonies. Colonists distinguished between regulation of trade and internal taxation, fueling resistance to the Stamp Act. Question 2. Stimulus. See image. Question. This trend most directly contributed to which colonial perception? A. Britain sought to intimidate colonists and enforce imperial authority. B. Larger garrisons were primarily intended to defend against renewed French invasions. C. The increase signaled Britain's willingness to abandon mercantilist restrictions. D. Britain's financial stability allowed for limitless expansion of its military presence. The correct answer is A. Britain sought to intimidate colonists and enforce imperial authority. Colonists believed peacetime troops threatened liberty and self-rule. Question 3. Stimulus. Thomas Jefferson, Declaration of Independence, 1776. Governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. Question. This statement was most directly influenced by A. Montesquieu's arguments for a system of checks and balances. B. John Locke's Enlightenment ideas about natural rights and government by consent. C. Rousseau's emphasis on direct democracy and the general will. D. Voltaire's writings on the separation of church and state. The correct answer is B. John Locke's Enlightenment ideas about natural rights and government by consent. Jefferson drew heavily from Locke in framing grievances against Britain. Question 4. Stimulus. See image. Question. The decline shown here was primarily due to A. Congress's decision to replace militias with European mercenaries. B. A surge in loyalist enlistment supporting British authority. C. Jefferson's calls for nonviolent resistance rather than armed struggle. D. War weariness, poor pay, and the risks of military service. The correct answer is D. War weariness, poor pay, and the risks of military service. Sustaining the Continental Army proved difficult amid hardships and limited resources. Question 5. Stimulus. Treaty of Paris, 1783. Britain recognizes the independence of the United States. Question. Which concession most reflected American negotiating success? A. Securing territory to the Mississippi River. B. Recognition of American claims to Canada. C. Permanent British occupation of forts in the Northwest. D. Britain's agreement to pay reparations for Loyalist property losses. The correct answer is A. Securing territory to the Mississippi River. The U.S. gained generous western boundaries beyond the Appalachians. Question 6. Stimulus. Federalist number 10. A large republic promises the cure for the mischiefs of faction. Question: which argument is Madison making here? A. A large republic with diverse interests would prevent tyranny of the majority. B. A confederation of small states was best suited to protect liberty. C. Direct democracy was the only guarantee of popular sovereignty. D. Only a monarchy could successfully control the danger of faction. The correct answer is A. A large republic with diverse interests would prevent tyranny of the majority. Madison argued the Constitution's framework would stabilize Republican government. Question 7. Stimulus. Anti-Federalist Essay, 1788. The new Constitution creates a consolidated government, dangerous to liberty. Question: which development addressed this concern? A. The granting of suffrage to all adult men regardless of property. B. The elimination of the Senate in favor of one chamber. C. A permanent ban on taxation by the federal government. D. The adoption of the Bill of Rights. The correct answer is D. The adoption of the Bill of Rights. Federalists promised amendments protecting liberties to secure ratification. Question 8. Stimulus. George Washington's farewell address, 1796. Steer clear of permanent alliances with any portion of the foreign world. Question: Washington's warning reflected A. Hamilton's desire to forge a permanent alliance with Britain. B. An isolationist policy later abandoned in the Louisiana Purchase. C. The nation's weakness and vulnerability to European conflicts. D. Jefferson's insistence on supporting revolutionary France. The correct answer is C. The nation's weakness and vulnerability to European conflicts. Washington emphasized neutrality to safeguard a fragile new republic. Question 9. Stimulus. See the image. Question: the data best illustrates A. Division among states over centralization of power under the Constitution. B. Universal consensus in favor of a strong federal government. C. Southern states' immediate rejection of the Constitution. D. Britain's direct interference in state ratification processes. The correct answer is A. Division among states over centralization of power under the Constitution. Ratification split states sharply, with smaller and more commercial states often quicker to approve. Question 10. Stimulus. Benjamin Franklin, 1787. I consent to this Constitution because I expect no better and because I am not sure that it is not the best. Question. Franklin's statement best illustrates A. The rejection of Enlightenment principles in favor of tradition. B. An anti-federalist demand for a stronger Bill of Rights. C. Recognition of compromise as essential to the ratification of the Constitution. D. Widespread certainty that the Constitution was flawless. The correct answer is C. Recognition of compromise as essential to the ratification of the Constitution. Franklin's pragmatic support reflected the spirit of compromise central to the convention. Thanks for watching A Push for 5. Let us know in the comments which questions you like the most. If today's practice helped you, tap like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any future videos. And share this with a friend who's also aiming for that 5. If you want more hands-on learning or direct feedback, reach out directly. We'd love to help you take your prep to the next level. See you in the next video.